Imagine this. You open your banking app, and for the first time in your life, you see 6 figures. $100,000. Legally yours. What's the first thing you buy? For most people, the answer is instant. A Tesla. A down payment on a house they can barely afford. That Rolex they've been eyeing for 3 years. But here's the cold, hard truth that separates the newly comfortable from the self-made wealthy. If you spend that money to look rich, you've already lost. Real millionaires treat their first 100 grand completely differently. They don't see a pile of cash. They see a weapon. Today we're breaking down exactly what the top 1% do with that first major milestone, and why most people get it dangerously wrong. Charlie Munger, the legendary investor and partner to Warren Buffett, famously said, "The first $100,000 is a bitch, but you gotta do it." He wasn't being dramatic. Mathematically, the first $100,000 is the hardest, because you are doing 100% of the heavy lifting. Your money isn't working for you yet. You are working for the money. If you invest $10,000 and get a 7% return, you made $700. That doesn't change your life. But once you hit that $100,000 mark, that same 7% is $7,000 a year. That's a passive raise of nearly $600 every single month. This is the psychological turning point. This is where survival ends and compounding begins. Most people blow it here because they feel arrived. They hit the finish line, but they don't realize they're actually at the starting blocks of a much bigger race. Let's look at the 8 specific priorities self-made millionaires have for their first $100,000. Number 1 is the least sexy thing on this list, but it's the most vital. The bulletproof emergency fund. While the average person thinks $1,000 or $5,000 is enough, a self-made millionaire wants a sleep-at-night fund. We're talking 6 to 12 months of total living expenses sitting in a high-yield savings account. Why? Because wealth is built on offense, and you can't play offense if you're worried about defense. When you have $30,000 sitting in cash, a job loss isn't a tragedy. It's an opportunity to find something better. An engine failure isn't a crisis. It's an inconvenience. Millionaires use their first $100,000 to buy peace of mind first. Luxury comes later. Point number 2. They kill the wealth leeches. If you have $100,000, but you're carrying credit card debt at 22% interest, you aren't winning. You're bleeding. Self-made millionaires understand simple math. There is no investment in the world, not Bitcoin, not the S&P 500, that can consistently beat a guaranteed 22% return you get by paying off debt. Most people think, I'll keep the debt and try to out-invest it. Wrong. The wealthy prioritize cleaning the slate. They pay off the high-interest cars, the personal loans, and the credit cards. They want a clean, economic engine where every dollar they earn stays in their pocket, not the bank's. Next, they exploit the system legally. Millionaires love tax advantages. With that first $100,000, they aren't just dumping it into a standard brokerage account. They are maxing out their Roth IRAs, their 401ks, and especially their HSAs, the triple tax-advantaged holy grail of accounts. They know that a dollar saved from the taxman is worth more than a dollar earned in the market. By locking in these contributions early, they ensure that the snowball effect Charlie Munger talked about happens in a tax-free environment. While everyone else is bragging about their gross gains, the millionaire is focused on their net wealth. Now, where does the bulk of the money go? It isn't into moonshot penny stocks or the next big thing. Statistics from Ramsey Solutions and CNBC show that the vast majority of self-made millionaires built their wealth through simple, low-cost index funds. They take that first $100,000 and buy the entire world, or at least the top 500 companies in America. They aren't trying to be smarter than the market. They are trying to be the market. They understand that $100,000 in a total market ETF will, on average, double every 7 to 10 years. By the time they hit year 20, that first $100,000 has turned into $400,000 without them lifting a single finger. That's the power of the first milestone. Here is where it gets interesting. Self-made millionaires invest in the one asset no one can take away, their own earning power. Maybe they spend $5,000 on a high-level certification, $2,000 on a mastermind group, or $10,000 on better equipment for their business. Think about it. If a $5,000 course helps you increase your salary by $20,000 a year, that is a 400% return every single year. While the average person buys a new TV to watch other people succeed, the millionaire buys the tools they need to become the success. They treat themselves like a startup. And $100,000 gives you the seed capital to finally take those bets on yourself. Does this mean they live like monks? No. But they upgrade intelligently. A self-made millionaire might use part of that $100,000 to move into a better apartment closer to work to save 2 hours of commuting time a day. They might buy a high-quality pre-owned car in cash to avoid a monthly payment. They invest in a high-quality gym membership or better food because they know that health is the ultimate wealth. They buy things that provide utility, not status. Most people buy the Porsche to show people they have money. The millionaire buys the Toyota Highlander because it's reliable, safe, and doesn't distract them from their goals. Often, the first $100,000 is where millionaires start thinking generational. But they don't just hand out cash. They do it strategically. They might pay off a parent's high-interest mortgage, or set up a 529 college savings plan for a sibling or child. This isn't about being a bank for everyone they know. It's about removing the financial anchors from their inner circle so the whole family can move forward. It's calculated, it's structured, and it's done from a position of strength, not guilt. Finally, they celebrate, but they do it with a cap. A self-made millionaire might take $2,000 or $5,000 out of that $100,000 and go on a dream trip or buy that one nice thing they've wanted for years. But they never ever spend the principal. They reward themselves with a fraction of the progress, while the other 95% remains locked in the wealth machine. Most people hit $100,000 and spend $40,000 on a reward. The millionaire hits $100,000 and spends $2,000. See the difference? Let's look at the scoreboard. The average person sees $100,000 as a way to escape their life. They buy things to forget they have to work. The self-made millionaire sees $100,000 as a way to buy their freedom. To them, money is a tool. It's a worker that never sleeps, never asks for a raise, and never gets tired. When you reach $100,000, you finally have enough workers to start a small army. Blowing that money on a car isn't just spending cash. It's firing your army before the battle even begins. The first $100,000 isn't the finish line. It's the moment you stop being a slave to the dollar and start being the master of it. So now I want to hear from you. Be honest. If $100,000 hit your bank account tomorrow morning, what is the very first thing you would do? Are you killing debt? Or are you finally starting that business? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one of them. And it's incredible to see the different strategies we have in this community. If you found this helpful, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button. It tells the algorithm that financial literacy actually matters. And if you want to see part 2, where we discuss what millionaires do once they hit their first million and how the strategy changes, make sure you're subscribed and have that bell icon turned on. Thanks for watching, and remember, the first $100,000 is the hardest. Don't give up before the miracle happens. I'll see you in the next one.